nonetheless, and it is probably for a very, very good reason, considering that not Alistar, Nocturne is in fact the MVP for the day, and now it looks like the red team is going to be kind of saying now it is do or die. Now Kennen's going to push in here, and they need to do something while this Baron is still up, and there is a whopping, looks like a 75% of Baron is still there. Wow, that was a good one. I was trying to find a time on it, but I couldn't, so I said 75%. Now that is heads up, in case you guys were in fact wondering. Now it looks like they're actually going to be pushing in here, and I think that this is going to be pretty hard for the red team to deal with. He actually is going to mummify Kennen, so now Kennen's going to actually open in here, and there's going to be a lot of damage going around everywhere. There's going to be a lot of just random shots blistering at a blistering pace. So blistering at a blistering pace is in fact what happened. Now all that happened was Miss Fortune, who is in fact pretty fed, just kind of ultied while Kennen ultied, and then Taric just did a simple little stun. There is a little bit of lag. I think my computer is saying, hey man, I'm not used to this much epicness, so I'm going to just slow down a little bit on you, but it will see if it doesn't fix here, and it does actually fix out, so we're fine. Now Kennen and the team is going to be kind of sitting at the middle of the base with a whopping 4-on-5. I don't know if the red team realizes yet, they probably do, but it is in fact a 4-on-5, and I think they're losing. If this middle turret does go down, then they will in fact be losing. They are definitely losing in the item war, in the sense that Nocturne and the green team is generally much more fed than the red team. There actually is only 4 of the red people here. There should be all 5, because they really do need to protect this turret at all costs. But I think that maybe they're just saying, you know what, we'll be good sports about it, and one of our guys will sit back as well. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but it does look like all of their players are in fact playing it, because Katarina's already level 18. There's a Mumu, Alistar, Soraka, and Katarina. Who's the other? Garen. Garen was definitely there, so they're all playing. So they're being beat on a 4-on-5. That's got to be kind of frustrating to know that you're losing on a 4-on-5. And now Garen here is just desperately trying to, in fact, kind of just mine as much as he can and get his farm on as best as he can. Now they need to be a little bit careful, because the second turret here, because this in fact is the first turret, and it is now obviously a pile of rubble. It is now nothing but a distant memory for the green team, saying, hey, remember that one turret? And they're saying, shh, man, second turret, dude. He's all emotional about that, remember? He's like, dude, sorry. Party foul indeed. Now the green team's going to be trying to hide and lay in wait. Whoa, what the heck? My computer just teleported itself. Now this would be a good time to just kind of get the red buff, say, why the heck not? Garen is going to be pushing in here, probably going to be taking down the second turret here. I am not entirely sure, as I think that my oxygen level has been predetermined by God and is slowly reaching critical mass, in the sense that I have none of it. Not like a pressure where like, oh, so, like Scotty in the Star Trek Enterprises, the 2 episodes I did in fact see, one of them being the movie, and it was like, and he goes like, so we're giving it all she's got. And so I think that in this sense I am giving it all I do in fact have. So I would love to see your guys' support. Now I think that Nocturne clicked here, and Miss Fortune and Kennen are all going here. They want this farm. This is a pretty good farm. It's not that great, in the sense that in the lower level games it's so much easier for like one lane to get like 20 of the red minions, and then you just run up there and you get like 150 gold or something crazy like that, just in one queue, and then one like your like little, what's it called, Umbra blades. Now the green team is going to be pushing up here. They're going to be kind of continually just deterring any sort of push. They want to delay it while they just get further and further ahead, because you can see that Nocturne is going to be a whopping 18 already, and that is matching the middle laner of Katarina. Now the thing you have to be weary of is that Katarina late game is so very hard to deal with, but Nocturne is 8-1 and Katarina is a meager 4-2, and the only disadvantage that the green team does in fact have is that they only have 4 players. They would, I think, in my opinion, they would have won a much higher time ago if they had a 5th player, unless it was me. Because if it was me, then they would have lost, because I would just fed the other team like crazy. I am not very good at this game. I mean, I try to be good at this game, but you really can only be so good until God just says, you know what, your video game skills are just not up to par. But then he said, you know what, you can cast League of Legends and people will love you for it. So I'm hoping that you guys love the cast with Mormon, the green Nocturne, Damazo, the sexy Miss Fortune, who is probably a man, not going to lie, Sokoi, who is in fact the level 18 Garen, who I think is also either buying something or taking another P. A lot of their teammates seem to be taking a P. Maybe now it's going to be a 3-on-5. We're just going to keep adding to the epicness. And like, well, eventually we'll just get to like a 1-on-5 where it's going to be Mormon versus everyone. And he's going to be saying, don't worry, guys. And that was not a chuckle. That was, in fact, a desperate gulp of air. So I think I'm going to slow down a little bit here and just kind of just take it at a slower pace. I've been kind of going at a fast pace to try to, you know, impress you guys, because this is in fact my first cast. But you know what? A man needs to breathe. Now, like I was saying before, from like way earlier, probably like the 15-minute mark, is that at an AP, there was actually a in my AP Psych class, they actually were doing this test, and it was and the test was like do children realize numbers? Like, do they really realize size? Like, for example, this girl took a graham cracker and put it right in front of the kid, and then put a graham cracker twice as big in front of the kid, and then she had 2 graham crackers that were the same size, but overall the big graham cracker was like twice the size of the 2 small graham crackers. And every time she was like, which one would you want? And the kid was like, oh, I want the 2 small graham crackers. I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, that's so much bigger. Now, Nocturne does in fact go down. Amumu is sitting here just kind of saying, don't worry guys, I am taking a timeout, but so with Nocturne, because I think he does have Guardian Vision as well. But he does finally die, and so does Garen. So this is a very, very bad push for the green environmentally friendly team to in fact be in situationally wise, because now they're going to have to push back here. And so Garen's going to be taking a little bit of time out. But anyway, so they would always pick that. And I was thinking, you know, how messed up would it be if maybe I have kids someday? I don't know if I'm going to have kids or not, but if I do, and you do like, and you get to the point and you like, you give your kid, you're like, okay, so you could either, all right, you're actually going to see a push here, and it's going to be pushing in now. This turret may actually go down here. Kennen is going to be trying to focus down Garen desperately, but I think that will be a futile effort indeed, because she's just going to get knocked around everywhere by Alistar, who is in fact a high school bully from the 1980s. You know, if you guys ever saw a movie from like the 1980s and you saw a bully from high school, it was in fact Alistar. I think that the resemblance is incredibly you know, like convenient. Now Nocturne does in fact come back to life, and so it does teleport me back there for whatever reason. Now anyways, I would just tell my kid, you know, like, alright son, you could either wash the bathrooms, or you could pick up 2 pieces of clothes. Actually no, wait, that wouldn't work, because you would want to pick up the 2 clothes. I could say, alright son, you can either wash 2 bathrooms or pick up 1 piece of clothing. And he'll be like, oh, I want to wash 2 bathrooms because 2 is in fact bigger than 1, even though overall it is not bigger than 1. And so that is, I think that's always something funny. If you just like wanna, if you want to look up like either object, well actually if you want to get another kick out of little kids and probably send you straight to hell, look up object permanence. They actually did a test where they would have kids and they would just mess with their minds. Like, they would just send optical illusions on them and just kind of make them think that there was a wall there when really it was just like nothing. And so they would just walk right off the edge of a table. Of course, there's someone there to catch them, but still, you know, you're just thinking like, wow, that kid's probably gonna be 15 and he's just gonna be like, is that a wall or is there nothing there, man? I don't know. Like, imagine having to go through like therapy for that. He's like, therapist is like, come on, you have to trust me, it's a wall. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I do not know if I can trust you with that. Now, actually, Alistar does in fact kill this ward here, so they did counter ward so that they could in fact see the ward. So what I mean by that is they threw down a ward so they could see the other ward. So that basically means that now the green team has no idea if there is in fact Baron being taken down or not. So they both throw their little Q spells at it to see if it in fact is being taken or not. Now Nocturne is going to be pushing up to the top here just to kind of grab all of this fruity, all of this delicious farm. I'm sure that these minions feel pretty fruity because they constantly die and respawn. And they're saying, what is the point when all I inevitably do is die? But then, I mean, maybe it probably feels pretty good to be the final respawn that finally wins the game. You say, man, I did not die. I actually won us the freaking game. Especially if you're like that hero, you know, the hero one after you kill, after you kill one of these things, you become like a super awesome minion guy, and then, you know, after that you just kind of like look like you're a total freaking boss. So now there's going to be the red players at the bottom, red players in the middle, red players everywhere. They are like the fever of death that you just cannot escape. There's going to be a little bit of lag here. This is kind of actually bugging me a little bit. My frame rate is dropping down to a whopping 345, but I don't want to like pause it, because if I pause it, then the computer will crash on me. So let's see. Okay, there we go. It's picking back up. It's at a whopping 10 now. Now 19, now 20. Okay, there we go. So at 10 is the best I can hope for, but now it's going back down to 10, 7, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 4, 4, 7. So I know that you guys didn't actually get this to in fact hear me read numbers, so I'm just going to pause it real quick here and see if I cannot in fact fix it. Alright, there we go. I think that it is now fixed. all I did was just paused it, and actually the computer almost crashed on me. Like, it literally almost crashed. I was just like, freaking F, man. But I think that we only have 20 minutes left, so you know what? It's alright, guys. It's alright. We only have 20 minutes left, so that'll be like over before you freaking know it. Now, if we go to the item tab, you can see that Nocturne is switched into a Guardian Angel. I think that's what it's called, and he actually is going to be pushing in here, actually doing a little bit of damage. It's going to be the entire red team kind of push in and take him down. Now there's going to be his green brethren backing him up as Taric and Nocturne both push out in here. Now Kennen is also here to back him up. No, there's only one guy AFK. So where is their third? Okay, Misfortune did in fact just reset that, so she still has a whopping 40 seconds until she does in fact respawn. So now the green team is going to have to be very, very careful, but I think that this tower will in fact die, and if that just means that Alistar has to be a freaking hero and run it and just put 2 shots, or even 1 shot on this to kill it, that will be all that it needs. So now the green team either needs to make something really big happen, like just kill the entire red team in an all-out fight, or they really just need to have Galileo come back at level 8. He's randomly gaining experience. I don't even know how that happened. He's probably gaining experience from when they kill the dragon, because everyone gets 200 experience. I do not know for sure. I think that may be just 3s, but I think that actually is what it is. I think that's why people kill the dragon. I think everyone gets like 100 gold as well, but no buff. No plus 15% damage buff. Now Nocturne's just going to be pushing in here, continuing to jungle, just kind of saying, you know what, guys, don't worry, I'll be the more Mlam that I am. Actually, he's going to be soloing Soraka, and Soraka is going to be a little bit fearful here because Nocturne can kill her so very, very quickly. She actually does have the W spell on, and she still used the spell, so he's going to be a little bit at an advantage, and Soraka, I think, will die here. He might actually have to just continually hit her, but now he's going to have to be deterred because there's both Amumu and Alistar, and I think there was a little bit of lag there, and that is why Amumu did not, in fact, kill Nocturne. And I think Nocturne then also, he actually did ulti on Soraka, so we will kill him. Misfortune comes in to do her ulti, and so does Kennen, so Alistar will in fact go down, and so will Amumu here in just a second, but he does have Guardian. Oh no, he does not. His Guardian was still on cooldown, so now they can feel free to push in and take out the turret, and it looks like they're actually going to say, let's just tank the turret and push in, and they might actually push in for the second turret, but while they are pushing in there, Garen is going to be at the back of the base, actually destroying the turret at the bottom position here, and he might actually push in to even try to kill this turret here with its hand. Yeah, I actually just noticed this. He has his hand down on the plat saying like a "you shall not pass." I'm putting my hand down because I do not have feet to put down. Maybe that's a foot right there. It's a weird foot, man. He's like one of those guys who's big at the torso, but he's a midget everywhere else, and especially where it counts. Ladies, all 1% of you, because in case you guys don't know, my StarCraft 2 channel, I literally looked it up yesterday, and it's 97% male of YouTube viewers who watch me and 3% female. But then I kind of gauged, like, alright, so 2% are going to be women, or I mean men who are lying to be women for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Maybe they're just a little bit confused, which is fine to be confused, but you know what? Do not be confused on my YouTube channel. And then they will be like, and then there's going to be like that 1% who's actually legit female. So I figured out 1% of 99% of the males